Land Rover, the only car where your ECU can develop an oil leak. Right, well, driving me Discovery last night, and I've noticed it's developed a pretty horrific misfire. So I'm just trying to work out what's going on with it. But typically it's Britain, it's November, and it is raining. Excellent. So one common problem on these Land Rovers is the wiring harness for the injectors lets oil track down to the ECU. Now this is probably the cause of my misfire. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll find out when we'll have a look. You can't see from here, but I'll move the camera in a second. You can clearly see there's a lot of oil around this red plug on the ECU. Right, well the plan is we take off the rocker cover, get into there, replace the wiring harness. This is the culprit. Now I bought a modified version that should stop the oil from tracking back down into the wiring harness again. I'm going to have to strip and clean the ECU, which is obviously full of oil. Now that's probably causing a misfire, so I've got myself some contact cleaner to do that. Yeah, so that should be it. Job's a good. Oh, also I might add, I should have bought a rocker cover gasket, which I didn't. It's Sunday now, so I'm not going to be able to replace it, so you can guarantee I'm going to end up doing this job twice, but you'll learn. The first thing I need to do is remove there's two bolts here holding this plastic engine cover on, and then it looks like a third one down here on this side. It should be fairly straightforward. We'll get this whipped off anyway and then I'll carry on from there. Right, there we go, that's the plastic engine cover removed now. As you can see, I obviously maintained this vehicle really well because I hadn't noticed there's a bolt missing out of this rocker cover. So I'm going to have to get a replacement one of them from somewhere. Right, we'll just crack on, get this rocker box off and go from there. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the rocker cover off. It's this harness here that we're removing. I've already took off a couple of the wires. Now, what I'm not sure of, it looks like there should be a fixing holding this in, and there doesn't look to be, so I can only assume that's either missing or it's not meant to be there, so I won't find out till I take that out and we'll have a look. I've unclipped all the connectors from the harness. Now this one, there's just two sort of lever actions either side of it, and that pops straight down overs. Once that's off, I then just prized this out. I had to use a little lever in here to get it to come out. It wouldn't move freely. It's obviously because it's sealed. It's got two rubber seals there. Make sure they haven't been left behind in here. Just give this a quick clean up as well before you put the new one in. Right, that's the new harness fitted. Just need to clean up the connectors and then get everything boxed back together, and we'll see if we'll fix my misfire. Right, so I've moved inside to do this bit because obviously it needs to be pretty clean, pretty dry. I'm taking apart the ECU. Now, I didn't have the right security bits, so I had to just sort of, well, let's say butcher them to get them off, but that's done now anyway. So let's just open this up and see what sort of condition it is inside. Now, as you can see, thankfully there doesn't seem to be too much oil in there. There seems to be a little drop there at the bottom corner, but we'll get that cleaned out. I've got some contact cleaner there. We'll give it a good spray and let it dry, and then we'll get it all boxed back together, and hopefully that's my problem fixed. Right, before I reassemble all this, I've just quickly run a bead of silicone around the outside. There was some sort of sealer on this. I'm not 100% sure what kind of sealer, but I thought, well, I might as well put something in here rather than just put it back together. Right, well, that's it. All done, everything boxed back together. Now for the moment of truth. Has it fixed the problem? That is the question. Well, that does seem a lot smoother, so let's take it out for a road test, see how it's driving. I can't get over how much of a difference that's actually made. It's unbelievable. It must have been going wrong for some time. It's like a brand new car. Can't get over that. But excellent, job sorted, everything's fixed. So hopefully I'll see you out on the lane soon.